Coming up on Volusia Magazine, we hit the water with the Volusia County Water Quality Crew. We'll get some tips for hurricane-friendly foods and lace up our sneakers with the NBA's Vince Carter. Those stories and more coming up next. Hello and welcome to Volusia Magazine. I'm Amber Osmond. Water, water everywhere, but is it safe for us to drink, to fish, or to swim in? That's the job of Volusia County's Environmental Management Division, to test the local waters and report any problems. Gary Daniels rides along with the dedicated employees who make the water quality program a success.
Long-term sampling monitoring program since we started in about '86. We're out here sampling water at different frequencies, sometimes monthly, sometimes quarterly, but we're trying to get a good feel of what the long-term trends of the water is, what's happening to the water quality over time.
Today, Volusia County samplers are going out on the South St. Johns River near Deep Creek and State Road 46, sampling water samples around the St. Johns River. Why? Because we're checking to make sure that the waters are healthy and safe for people to consume the fish out of, but also go swimming in and stuff. And also, just if there is any issues, we can alert the local people so that they are aware. We collect the bottles of water by hand, and then we take a sample bottle and filter for 2 of the bottles, add acid to it so we can sample for certain metals. Some of the negative things that can happen is in the summer when it gets hot, it can cause algae blooms, which causes low dissolved oxygen. But the dissolved oxygen gets too low, obviously the fish can no longer breathe, and that's when they suffocate. And then obviously if the fish are dying, then the gators don't have the food, the birds don't have their food either, and stuff, so we're all concerned about that.
But overall, the water quality is probably going down in some of the more developed areas, but it's remaining fairly normal in areas similar to this, or maybe even slightly improving in areas like this, because agriculture has kind of dropped off in Volusia County a little bit. Most of the agricultural runoff would have ended up in this particular creek, so the water quality is probably improving here.
Today we've been sampling the south stretch of the St. Johns River from Lemon Bluff down through Lake Harney, which is along the southern part of our St. Johns River that borders the entire west coast of Volusia County. This thing she has right now, it's a visibility indicator, how clear the water is. So she's looking at when that white and black disc disappears from her view, and she'll pull up the measuring tape and take notice of where the disc is disappearing from her view. And she'll record where that is to the top of the water. For instance, she might only be able to see 0.6 meters from the surface, and then she'll record that on the iPad. Not enough people know what we do and why. It's one of those behind-the-scene kind of jobs, and if people really knew why we did this, and rather than just complaining about the water looking so bad or being concerned about whether the fish are edible or not, if they really understood why things get bad and took more care of what they do, we might not have to be out here quite as much.
The most challenging part is probably the heat in the summer. The most rewarding part is being able to get out on the boat, sampling the water and hopefully helping the water quality in the future. You know you're actually hopefully getting somewhere, so like when the lawmakers do come and look at the stuff that if they're looking to make changes into the water quality and wanting to improve it, the stuff that we are gathering goes towards making those decisions or recommendations.
You hope you're doing a good thing. You're doing some difference. I know when I retire, the data that we collected over the last 33 years will be used by the future people that replace me and the rest of the staff. So that data is going to be archived and be useful to be able to say, yes, we have done something to the good for the water quality of Volusia County.
Volusia.org is your online county government resource. View the County Council agenda and meeting calendar, as well as review past meeting minutes and archived video and audio. Save time and bypass the lines by going online to register your car or boat, pay a bill, and much more. Plus, you can use the site to discover activities, workshops, and ways to become involved with your community. Volusia.org is your portal to everything Volusia County. Impaired driving is a serious threat to life and property, and Volusia County's DUI Court is a key intervention for many on the road to substance abuse recovery. Kevin Captain has more on this program that relies on a team-oriented support structure to promote sobriety.
Alcoholism is a leading factor in motor vehicle crashes, and this hazardous addiction spans all walks of life. The 7th Judicial Circuit Court serving Volusia County recognizes that driving under the influence is a serious danger to life and property in our community. In-depth studies of DUIs have identified that some people are at higher risk for repeat offense. And because these vulnerable individuals have a higher probability to be involved in a crash or fatality, Volusia County's DUI Court is a key intervention to set them on the road to recovery.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen.
Volusia County Judge Belle Schumann leads the DUI Court.
Always a special day when we have graduation.
The program itself is designed for people who have multiple DUIs, or else there's something very alarming about the facts of the case, or else they're very young, not even old enough to be drinking, and yet have DUIs that they're charged with. So we're really focusing on the people who, because of their substance abuse, are a threat to all of us who share the highways.
There are 4 phases each participant must advance through the program, followed by the graduation phase. Typically, there are about 30 participants at a time who range from teenagers to middle-aged executives to those retired, all sharing a DUI charge.
Florida ranks 3rd in the United States for DUI fatalities, and Volusia County has the highest rate of DUIs per capita in the state. As of today, we've had 135 graduates. Let's give them a round of applause.
Part of the team concept is that everyone works together. Counseling, probation, the court, everyone works together to help that person achieve the best life that they can through sobriety, and that's really the main goal of DUI Court.
Does the DUI Court work? The court's primary goal is to reduce the risk of car crashes and fatalities.
Let's give her a round of applause.
Since inception, 86% of the court's graduates do not have a repeat offense in a 3-year period. Former graduates whose lives were positively changed from the program make an amazing difference toward the success of today's participants.
My name is Dan, and I claim I'm not an alcoholic.
And program coordinator Ricardo Calderon can prove it.
We've seen major transformation of lives in the program. and people that come back after they're graduated that want to come back and contribute to the program. They want to see how they can assist.
Hey, congratulations to all of you.
We've had participants come in and be our speakers and speak to our graduates and let them know how, what the program did for them and how they were successful in the program.
Michael Charles Graham, a now transformed Volusia County resident, graduated from Volusia County's DUI Court in June 2019.
This has been such an opportunity for me. I've never fallen all the way down, but I was a drinker, alcoholic for 40 years. And 15 months, this is as long as I have been sober. And I feel 100% fantastic. Life is great. I'm doing better now than I have in ages.
DUI-related motor vehicle crashes have abundant human and economic costs. Volusia County's DUI Court is an investment in our community by making the roads we travel safer.
The program's motto is sobriety, safety, and success. The goal of the program is to assist our participants in becoming law-abiding, sober members of our community, thereby improving their lives and making our community a safer place.
Just want to wish all of our graduates a successful, sober, and happy life.
Since 2012, Volusia County's 7th Judicial Circuit Court has intervened in over 135 lives through the DUI Court program. This program is making the streets of Volusia County safer, and at the same time, it's changing people's lives through treatment and rehabilitation. For Volusia Magazine, I'm Kevin Captain.
After recent heavy rains, mosquitoes are on the move. Did you know that if a container can retain water, a mosquito can lay eggs in it? A small amount of water can lead to big problems. Take a walk around your property and tip and toss any standing water. Be a buzzkill. Put a stop to mosquitoes.
Hi, I'm Josh Wagner.
And I'm Billy Wheeler. During the planning stages of the Tomstead Veteran Memorial Bridge, people voiced their desire to have a Veterans Memorial Plaza on the northwest side of the bridge.
The Veterans Memorial Plaza will create a special place in our community for people to reflect and connect with our fallen heroes.
The proposed concept for the new Veterans Memorial Plaza is estimated to be a $1.2 million endeavor.
Your donation will help us create a special place in our community in which we can honor Volusia County veterans from all military branches and military conflicts. To help fund our Veterans Memorial Plaza, visit veteransmemorialbridge.com or call Volusia County Accounting at 386-736-5933.
We appreciate your support to create this lasting memorial for those who have served and continue to serve our country.
A homegrown professional athlete is working to set the record as the oldest active player in the National Basketball League. But every summer, Vince Carter takes time out to return to his high school alma mater to inspire youth in and out of the gym. Dr. Holly Smith goes one-on-one with Vince Sanity in Community Health Matters.
He is old, very old.
Not so fast, you little whippersnapper. NBA star Vince Carter may be old compared to the kids in his summer basketball camp, but he's still got game and playing games at the professional level. Every year, Vince holds this camp in, well, the house that Vince built, also known as the Vince Carter Athletic Center at Mainland High School in Daytona Beach. As you might expect, the campers run through basketball drills, they hone their skills, and they learn about the game.
Hands above your head.
But Vince and his coaching staff also are laying the groundwork that can help these kids have a healthy life years from now on or off the court.
At age 42, Vince Carter is the oldest active player in the NBA today. He's heading into his 22nd season and he's going to be playing against guys that are more than half his age. If Vince is not an example of what living a healthy lifestyle can do for you, I'm not sure what is.
Yes, I'm the older kid. I'm the oldest guy on the block. But I work just as hard and I still believe that I can compete or I deserve to be here. So it translates out here as well.
In other words, he's walking the walk that he's preaching to these kids, and he's reinforcing the healthy lifestyle messaging with other coaches who have either played at or worked with athletes at the professional level. Meet Coach Sandy. She's certified as a personal trainer and stretch therapist and as a CrossFit coach. But when she's working the camp with kids, she's working to create good lifelong habits in her younger trainees.
It's not about who is the best athlete, and it's not about who can, shoot the ball the best or kick the ball the farthest or throw the ball the farthest. It's just about moving and effort. We're trying to instill in these kids that as long as they're moving and having fun, not everything has to be a drag, so we try to make it as fun as possible.
Coach Joe Giddens played high school basketball with Vince and then moved on to college, followed by football in the Canadian and Arena Leagues. Now is head basketball coach at Mainland High School and a coach in Vince's camp. He sees a difference in today's young athletes.
It's a lot different. When I was in school, we was outside more. We did a lot of more things outside, running, playing the playground, kickball, different stuff like that. Nowadays, the kids have video games. They're on their phones, so they're not doing as much stuff outside as we did. And I think it's a big problem at times when guys come to practice with me. I'm doing more running, stuff that I know, and it's tough. It's tough for a lot of the kids.
All three of these coaches encourage the campers to treat their body right. That's through exercise and staying active and by eating healthy foods. When working with the kids, the coaches point straight to Vince and they say,
he wouldn't have lasted 22 years in the NBA if he did not take care of his body. He's very cognizant and aware of what he puts in his body, especially for him to be able to last this long. I mean, besides the fact that he's a bit of a freak of nature, he really takes the time and puts in the effort to take care of his body.
He's always doing the healthy stuff, get his proper rest, and then the stuff that he used to eat when he was younger, when he first got in the league, he don't eat anymore. So you have to change a lot of that, and that's what I try to talk to the kids about, changing your diet, how it varies. It's important.
Coach Sandy has a simple way to explain the good foods, the not so good foods, and those kids should just stay away from. She uses a stoplight. There are green foods, yellow foods, and red foods.
Green foods are green foods, so any fruits, vegetables, whole grains, they can have that all the time. Yellow foods would be stuff like chips or, ice cream every once in a while. And woe foods are your sodas, your candies, all that sort of junky junk food, but that are high in sugar and high in fat. Those are the ones that you want to stay away from.
Vince lives a healthy lifestyle, but freely admits he still has a few challenges now and then.
Bad habits are still chocolate chip cookies and a red velvet cake. If I'm gonna go off the grid and eat bad, I don't go all the way. So I'll have a Chick-fil-A sandwich, but I won't eat the bread. I'll just eat the actual meat itself, the chicken itself.
As for steering clear of those forbidden red light foods, even though he gave it up 2 decades ago, Vince knows soda is not one of the easy habits to break.
It's tough to tell a kid to cut it out completely. So I would say, hey, instead of drinking 5 sodas a day, let's try 2 sodas a day for 2 weeks. And in 2 weeks, I would say, let's go to 1. And in 2 more weeks, let's cut it out for the week. Well, you tend to not want that anymore. And then now you can work into something else, maybe the intake of bread.
This camp only lasts 1 week. The coaches are making every minute count to make a difference in the physical and emotional habits these kids will continue to develop as they mature. I had to ask the campers, does hanging around these, quote, old guys really inspire you?
Yeah, I feel like being around him and learning from him will help me be better in the future.
This is getting me conditioned. So now I'm okay, this is good for me. It'll build my stamina and you can get back into shape if you're out of shape, and it's just good for your body and your conditioning.
Now the wise man on campus, or in the gym in this case, Vince is an example of being disciplined enough to develop and stick to those healthy habits. When he finally retires from the game and its grueling schedule, will his focus on being healthy retire too?
It is a lifestyle, because if you look at it, I walked into the NBA at 20. Now we'll be going into my 22nd year. So this is the majority of my life doing this, and this is what I know. It's a habit.
For the Florida Department of Health right here in Volusia County, I'm Dr. Holly Smith.
They said I couldn't dream. Called me a piece of trash and swore that's all I'd ever be. Said a bottle couldn't see the ocean. Give up. Go back to the dumpster. But I didn't listen. I made my way. And now, I am what I've always wanted to be.
It's that time of year again. Hurricane season has officially begun, and that means restocking your emergency supplies. Patrick Zayas, Program Manager for the Family Nutrition Program, is here to share some easy meal ideas and food prep tips when planning for the current storm season.
Welcome to Solutions for Your Life. I'm Patrick Zayas, and as you can see, it's that time of year again when storms are occurring every day, and that can even include hurricanes. So what do you do if you don't have power and you don't even have a grill? Well, you're in luck, because today I have a few tips that I'm going to share with you. Without power, well, you don't have a stove, you don't have a microwave, and you certainly don't have a fridge. Well, relax, because I'm here to share with you on how you can make a nice meal at home even without these amenities. For instance, we're going to start with a quick black bean salsa, and all that's going to take is a can of black beans, a can of corn, and a jar of salsa. What we're going to do is we're going to drain our black beans and corn. We're going to mix it into our bowl. Open up our can of salsa. Pour the whole can right on top. And give it a good mix. I'm sure your family loves salsa. I know mine does. And when it comes to salsa, who doesn't love chips? Well, I do. So I'm going to go ahead and open up my bag of chips and take a bite. Choose a variety of items from each food group. When choosing foods for your family, consider foods that are nutritious, ready to eat, and do not need to be refrigerated or cooked. We want to make sure these foods are low in sodium, added sugars, and saturated fats. Don't forget about food safety. Once opened, many foods are no longer shelf stable. To reduce the risk of foodborne illness, eat these foods within 2 hours after opening. And make cleanup easy. In case water is not available for cleanup, stock up on hand sanitizer or sanitizing wipes, paper towels, disposable plates and cups, and of course, disposable forks, knives, and spoons. And make sure you have a manual can opener available. And of course, make sure they're foods that your family will enjoy and will meet their dietary needs. So what if your family isn't a fan of salsa, black beans, and chips? Well, you're in luck, because I have another recipe for you, and it's packed with healthy fats. For this next recipe, I'm going to share with you a healthy trail mix. It's going to be really simple because you can have all these ingredients at home. We're going to go with 3 different types of cereals. We're going to include a square type cereal with some whole grains. We're going to include a puff type cereal with some whole grains, and even an O type cereal, all whole grain. We want to choose variety because we want to have some different textures in there. Of course, who doesn't like sweet food? So we're going to add in some raisins to kind of sweeten it up a little bit, and then you want to get a little bit of crunch. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to add in some pretzels. Like I mentioned, we want to make sure we're having some healthy fats for a good energy source. I'm going to go ahead and add in some mixed nuts, but you can use whatever nuts your family enjoys. So let's get started. I already have a half a cup right here of raisins. We're going to use a half a cup for everything just to keep it simple. I'm going to next move on to my cereal. Who doesn't love some O's? Ooh, try not to make a mess when you're making this at home. And even some puffs. I went with some no salt added pretzels, but choose what your family will enjoy so that way they're more likely to eat it at home. And of course, like I said, our mixed nuts just to finish it off, and add in that healthy fat. Now go ahead and mix it up, add it to a few little plastic baggies, and have your family enjoy it. If you do happen to lose your power due to a hurricane or a severe storm, remember, always have 3 to 4 days worth of food and a gallon of water per person for your family on hand at all times. With Solutions for Your Life, I'm Patrick Zayas.
The Atlantic hurricane season begins June 1st and continues through November 30th. Be prepared and take time to develop your emergency plans. Stock a 14-day supply of non-perishable food, water, and medical items for your family. Identify special needs for you and your loved ones. Discuss and create an evacuation plan. Remember, shelter should only be used as a last resort. For more information, visit volusia.org/emergency.
Stay connected with the latest Volusia County news, events, and updates on our social media channels. Like and follow us on Facebook and Twitter. Catch up with previous stories on YouTube, or just head over to our website, volusia.org. That wraps up this edition of Volusia Magazine. Thank you for spending part of your day with us. If you have any questions about the show, you can feel free to give us a call at any of the numbers you see listed here, or you can log on to volusia.org and click on the News tab at the top of the screen to find us. And we hope you won't forget to listen to Volusia Today. That's Volusia County Government's weekly public radio broadcast. Volusia Today airs every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Sunday mornings on the local radio stations you see on your screen. For Volusia Magazine, I'm Amber Osmond. Have a wonderful evening.